Welcome back, everybody. Today's video is going to be a meta update Monday for 7.34b. And basically what we want to talk about this video is to feel the vibes of the meta. I don't want to talk about the most broken heroes specifically. I don't want to talk about all the broken strats. I want to talk about how the games feel, okay? So we're going to be using some of the win rates to help discuss this, but I want to go ahead and go over exactly what I'm seeing in my games. Let's go ahead and get started. So right now, we are dealing with the map being wide open. And this is something that's now been the case for long enough that people have kind of caught on to what the map being wide open means. So we talked about it a bit in the carry tier list video, that heroes that like to hide are no longer any good, because eventually the opponent's gonna find you. Even though the map is larger, you'd think like, I can just hide since there's so many places to go. But because of nighttime movement speed, a lot of heroes that have mobility right now, they will eventually find you, and running away from them does not help. The meta right now is that you need to be able to stand your ground or make plays or have ways to clear the wave without actually being on it. These are the big things. So the main archetypes of heroes that are strong right now are burst initiators, heroes that can shove waves without showing on them, saving heroes, and then really tanky heroes that even if you do manage to bring them down, they will effectively take so long to kill, or they make it more difficult for their teammates to get killed. Let's go ahead and talk about why this is the case. So we've already talked about the map. But a lot of the heroes that have been buffed in the recent patch are assassination type heroes. They're ones that are looking to kill you. So when we see the best heroes in the game, we see that their win rates reflect these things that we're talking about. So let's go ahead and pull up the highest win rates in the Immortal bracket right now. Here's exactly what I'm going to show you guys. When we think about heroes that don't need to show on waves, let's use that as the first category. These are heroes that either have long-range nukes, or they have summons or illusions that make it so they don't have to show on the creep wave. So when we're looking at the highest win rate heroes so far, we already see Treant, we see Naga, we see Lycan, we see Nature's Prophet, and those are already like 5 of the best heroes in the game. And these are all heroes that have summons, or in Treant's case, he's invisible in the trees, throwing out his Nature's Grasp. Now, the other heroes are the assassination heroes, right? That's the next category of heroes that we have. And this is not just heroes that burst you, but heroes that are hunting you down, people that are looking for you on the map. And we see Invoker. Now, he's like the archetypal example of this patch because he just got buffed and reworked so significantly. On top of that, Invoker also has Forge Spirits as a summon, so he can push waves and then go hunt you. Just the perfect hero. In this current patch, you can see how many matches he's played with such an insane win rate. But when we look at hunting heroes, we have to scroll down a little bit, but we start to see Ursa, Earthshaker, we see the likes of Nyx, Bane. We're seeing these, and even though they're not in the top win rates, some of the carries we're seeing the most of are PA and Ricky. These are heroes that are looking to hunt you on the map. They have some of the most games played, even if they are not some of the highest win rates. Now, this is a hero that I've been seeing in my games, not very often, but I actually think Kunkka is incredibly slept on. So we talk about these heroes that don't have to show on waves. Now, the alternative is to be really tanky, just have naturally high strength gain, and buy a Blade Mail, and not mind if people initiate onto you. So the big part about this third category of heroes that are just so tanky that if you kill them, they kind of like take you down with them. Surprisingly, it's heroes that buy Blade Mail that play on lanes. They don't mind if you see them. What that means is heroes like Axe, Legion Commander, not so much. These are heroes that use Blade Mail to kill you, not Blade Mail to make you not kill them. So Blade Mail as an item right now is actually cropping up in my games all the time. I actually want to talk about the fact that the hot new item of this patch is Blade Mail, and it's heroes that want to just show on creep waves, and if they try to assassinate you, you just have 2,000 HP with a Blade Mail, 15-20 minutes into the game. So I've seen Kunkka with Blade Mail several times. The next archetype example of the most played hero in my bracket this patch, I've been first picking her with nearly 100% win rate across 8 games. is Dawnbreaker. This hero has been a core mostly in the offlane, sometimes mid, sometimes carry, that goes phase Soul Ring with a Blade Mail. Now, not only is it now difficult to kill Dawn, because she's a strength hero with Blade Mail, but she is the perfect hero for this role because she can also save her teammates. She has her ulti to save people globally. So suddenly what happens is I feel like Dawn is the most oppressive hero of the patch. She makes it so you can't go on her and you can't go on her team whenever she's winning. So it feels like if this hero gets ahead, which she has a really strong laning phase, then it becomes very difficult to ever come back. An example of this also is Darkseer. He's a hero that doesn't sit on lanes with Blade Mail, but he sits on lanes with very tanky items like Greaves, Pipe, Crimson, and then puts an Ion Shell on the lane and then surges himself without, and it's really hard to catch him, right? And if you ever go on his teammates, the counter initiation factor of the Blink Vacuum Wall is just insurmountable, right? It's just such a crazy teamfight spell right now, despite the nerfs that were given to Darkseer, that you can see that's why he's picked so much with a 53.5% win rate. Now, the heroes that stand their ground and fight back, these are the type of carries we're looking to see. We're seeing carries like Gyrocopter, Ursa up here, Sven, Wraith King, Faceless Void. All of these heroes, even Anti-Mage, may not stand his ground, but he's got a pretty decent win rate, despite the fact that he's highly situational, so he doesn't get picked very often. These are all heroes that when you go on them, in the case of like Wraith King, they're super tanky, and they don't mind if you go on them, or they have an oh shit button, right? With Sven, he pops God Strength, stuns you, hits you back with BKB. Faceless Void, pops BKB and Time Walks. We're seeing Ursa, has ulti, has enrage. These are heroes that don't necessarily mind getting gone on. Gyrocopter stands in lanes, Ag Satanic. I know you guys may be thinking that I'm just extrapolating this and interpreting it in the way that I want, but this is what I'm feeling in the games. The ones where I'm losing, when I'm losing the game, I'm just staring at these super tanky heroes that I can't kill showing on creep waves, or I'm watching my creep waves die to summons or ion shells. Now, getting to the last part, the last type of hero that has been really strong in this meta, when you think of burst and tankiness and counter initiation, we now have to think about the save aspect that is so important. The supports that play off map, saving the people that are showing on map. Because if the play now becomes to all in that guy, it's your only choice to 4-man commit to this person with your own assassination heroes, your own burst heroes, then the best thing to do is save that one guy individually. So we have Treant Protector with the Blink Overgrowth and the Living Armor. We have Venge with the swap. We have even Omni Knight, who I thought was going to be garbage, hasn't been picked very often, but apparently his win rate's really high. You have Silencer. You have OD even up here. Bane is a save. Oracle is a save. Are you guys seeing the bigger picture? Burst, magic damage like backliners that scout. You guys are seeing this aspect that every one of these heroes can be equated to not showing themselves in lane, like Tinker, and clearing the wave from afar, jumping you and bursting you with like Earth Spirit and Earth Shaker or Ursa, and then just standing your ground as a response. Even Nature's Prophet as a support, what makes him so broken, we mentioned it in our carry video, is that he can just sprout the wave now. He doesn't even have to throw trees at it. He can just sprout the wave and it kills most of it. So this is the meta that I'm feeling right now. The meta being that all of the heroes that don't do a large amount of burst damage, that don't want to get initiated onto, that's the ones we're seeing down here. We're seeing damage over times. We're seeing the heroes that have damage issues, killing the tanky heroes. Storm Spirit's actually one of his biggest problems as a hero is when he doesn't have enough gas in the tank to kill the opponent. When the opponent just has a Blade Mail and 1500, 2000 HP, Storm Spirit doesn't feel good. All the ranged heroes are down here. Sniper, Terrorblade, Luna, Wind Ranger, Drow. If Wind Ranger's win rate being 45% and same with Drow's doesn't tell you that Blade Mail is the most broken item of the patch right now, I don't know what else does. So some of these heroes don't have a large enough sample size to be, highly indicative of what their actual win rate should be. But when I see these heroes, right, these are ones that, I thought Necro was actually going to be really strong this patch, but I've struggled to win with him across 4 games. I've only won 1 out of 4 games. And it feels like even though he's a hero that shows on lanes and he's usually pretty tanky, he doesn't necessarily want to just buy Blade Mail. But I'm actually going to be trying Necro with a Spirit Vessel and a Blade Mail. I actually think that Blade Mail is the key to success this patch. Now you guys may say, BSJ, what are you? 1k, 2k MMR. Who is this guy trying to sell me on blade mail? I've always been saying that blade mail is one of the most noob shit items in the entire game, right? It's only good against the guy if he hits you. But this patch, I have never seen a better patch for blade mail because of the sheer amount of heroes that have low HP but high damage output that are popular right now. Also, a lot of these heroes are physical damage based, which means the armor aspect of blade mail and the passive that returns on right clicks, even if you don't have the active going, is really powerful. So what I am basically trying to say to you guys in short is that the item of this patch is blade mail. And you're seeing it. I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing across all of these heroes. Saves, tanky heroes, heroes that don't show on waves, and the ones that do show by a blade mail. So, going off of what I've just said, we are now going to have the hero pool that I'm going to try to pick. Pretty much every core I pick is going to be a survivable run-at-you hero, or a hero that doesn't mind getting gone on. Half the offlaners, I just buy a blade mail. So my first, second, and third options for offlane are Dawnbreaker, Primal Beast, and Night Stalker. Now, Night Stalker does not buy blade mail, but he serves as the hunter of those three. I want to try heroes that don't have to show on lanes from the offlane, like Zeus with the Manta build that Hobo Harry and Koikfa made. And then also I want to try Necro now with the blade mail build. I haven't done that yet, but I actually think he could be strong. Next, the best mid laner, I think, is Viper. Now, I want to keep in mind that I actually think Kunkka is super broken in like the few games I've played against it, and I want to add him to my pool. I kind of suck at him right now, but I'm going to be looking and put him mid and off lane with the blade mail Ags. I think the new Ags with the way Torrent now lingers on the ground and it slows you and damages you if you walk over it, even if you didn't get hit by it, is really strong. When it comes to carries, I made two different sections for carries. It's based on whether or not my 5 position is ranged or my 5 position is melee. Also, I made Mighty Minds carries, where we looked at the fact that Dire's jungle now gives you 7 HP regen per second at the top, and there's certain heroes that don't generally buy early sustain, like level 5, 6, but then they still jungle really fast. So these are the heroes that came to mind for that. But when I look at this, you know, this is my general tier list of heroes that I'm going to be looking to pick in the carry role. Now, the majority of them, you're noticing that I say ranged 5 here, or melee 5, and PAs in both, gyros in both. That's because these heroes are equally strong, because they kind of survivable, so they help with ranged heroes, and they also can help contribute if the melee heroes are running in and tanking for them. So my entire meta is going to be heroes like this in the carry role. I want to try Lycan in the carry role, because I think right now any carry that doesn't have to show on lanes and then flash farms at level 5 and also builds really tanky with stats or a blade mail is very strong. And this is the meta, right? Burst damage force. So these are my 2 favorites that I play. And then saving 5s and lane babysitting 5s. So take a quick snapshot of this, you know, hero list if you guys would like to use this for yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed this meta update. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section of your experiences in the meta and how they compare to mine. Bye-bye.